The Shang Dynasty has been thought to rule from 1600 to 1046 BC. To assist them in mass trade, they invented tools like the chariot to help them in long-distance trade. Other economic opportunities for citizens include fishing, farming, and handicraft industries. The Shang also built massive cities to boost economic activity in their respective regions of China. Bronze metallurgy played an important role in the Shang Dynasty. It reached the Shang Dynasty before the rise of the empire was deeply involved in the creation of the dynasty's economic dominance. Shang nobles used bronze trim on their chariots to be even more efficient in transport and war. While the raids and pillages started the Shang economy, the biggest thing took it to the next level. Agriculture became the backbone of the economy instead of trade. Farmers made up the largest social class group of the empire, but they were still looked down on as peasants. The Shang farmer never got to keep most of his crops. They would be sold off in markets, and the farmer would only take what they need.
People in the Shang Dynasty strongly focused on ancestor worship. They believed in the afterlife and in the importance of family. It was through his ancestors that a Shang king held the authority to rule. This meant a king had a very big reason to keep his ancestors happy by following their wishes. To communicate with their ancestors, the kings sought seers who would carve messages on oracle bones. Oracle bones are the earliest known example of Chinese writing. They were bone fragments or pieces of turtle shell heated to the point of cracking. The seers would then interpret the pattern of the cracks. The most common questions found in oracle bones were about war. The Shang were constantly at war. Many inscriptions show concern over barbarians who were a constant threat to the empire. The military had to be ready to fight them.
The Shang Empire built over 1,000 towns and cities that all recognized the Shang king. They expanded their irrigation systems and dynasty, but conflict arose when there was aggression of Zhou dynasty villages who opposed Shang leadership. Shang kings were constantly at war with outsiders near and far, but it was the Zhou dynasty who ultimately displaced the Shang one. Achievements and innovations set the Shang dynasty above other empires of the classical age. The success of the Shang dynasty boils down to their technology. The Shang monopolized bronze metallurgy by controlling sources of tin and copper in the Yellow River. They also made use of horse-drawn chariots, carts, wagons, etc. They are known for their impressive architecture in the capital cities of Ao and Yin. Thatched rooftops and pounded earth were prominent in the architecture of the Shang dynasty.
In Shang, interactions between humans and the environment was mostly an agricultural economy. The vast majority of people worked in the fields on the countryside. They cultivated grains, vegetables, and rice in large quantities. They used the environment to make roads, which their most common known road was the Silk Road. Also, Shang used their environment to create a calendar to calculate times of the year based on how it looked. It was a 360-day calendar with 12 to 30 months. The king used the calendar system to pronounce when to plant crops. Lands conquered were the Shang Dynasty, which they overthrew, and other local regions. Method used to conquer, the Shang Dynasty was overthrown, claiming the king had lost his mandate of heaven. The others, they just went in on with their bronze weapons, and chariots, which were used because they were kind of like a technological advancement that nobody else had.
The Shang dynasty's power was concentrated in many ancient cities. Most of them had an inner and outer wall. The common residents could live within the outer wall, but could not go past the inner wall, which enclosed a temple area, cemetery sites, bronze foundries, bronze casting areas, and bone workshops. The inner walls thus encircle an area of political elite and crafts specialists, who together were the engineers of the important ritual performances. In this way, the architecture of these cities was designed to separate different social classes.
The Shang dynasty centralized governments and developed distinct social classes, with the rulers drastically set apart from pedestrians. Shang's social structure consisted of 6 classes: the king and relatives, nobles, artisans, traders, farmers, and slaves.